Talk more about some of those efforts to repair the governor's popularity in just a few moments. But first, among those in attendance for that historic signing today, my next guest, Anthony Papa, appeared on this program just a few weeks back when the reforms were first announced. He told us then he wouldn't believe it until he saw it. Well, today, this man who spent 12 years in jail as a result of the Rockefeller laws did see it. Tony Papa is the author of 15 to Life, a book detailing his encounter with those drug laws and the fight he's led to reform them. Since being released, joins us live from New York City tonight. Tony, good to see you. First and foremost, your reaction to this. You saw it today.
I finally saw it. I'm a believer. The laws have changed. Governor Paterson signed the legislation, and it was a happy day. It was at a community center in Queens where Assemblyman Jeff Aubrey, who's a silent hero of these changes, who's been a champion for many years, worked as a drug counselor. And it was a sunny day. A couple of hundred people showed up. Many of the assembly was there. It was a beautiful time. The governor spoke boldly about these changes, and he signed the legislation, and I'm a believer now, Brian.
Yeah, Tony,
I'm a believer.
And Tony, I can sense your emotion on it tonight, and I know that you've been emotional about this in the past for good reason. You've had such personal experience here. And for those viewers who may not have seen your last appearance, may not be familiar with your story, you did spend, as mentioned, 12 years in jail until Governor Pataki granted you he got you out of jail.
Clemency.
He gave you clemency,
right.
And that was part of a 15 to life sentence as a result of what you called a stupid mistake to transport drugs.
Right. I was young and I was stupid, and because of these laws, mandatory minimum sentencing, the judge had to sentence me to 15 to life because I chose to go to trial. Basically, what these new laws now have done is do away with mandatory minimum sentencing. It gives judges discretions in low-level drug cases where the judges could put people in treatment instead of putting them in prison. It's going to save the state hundreds of millions of dollars in the next few years. Many individuals came and spoke out. Senator Snyderman, who's a big part of this also, talked about how it should be measured and see what goes on with these changes. And I think for myself, it was a great day. I think another seed has been planted. There was changes in 2004, 2005, and like I said on the show last time, it saved the state of New York almost $100 million. I think now with these changes, expected $250 million in the next few years. You save money, hard-earned tax dollars, and you save human lives with these changes in these drug laws.
Tony, as you know,
district attorneys tried their best to stop it, but it didn't happen. So I think we all now have to, walk hand in hand on common ground and try to realize that these laws have changed, and let's make the system work as best.
You said district attorneys tried to stop it. In fact, a number of people tried to stop it. Some of them legislators, one of whom we caught up with today, Senator Dale Volker, who expressed his disappointment at this. Want to play the soundbite? Get your reaction on the other side.
He signed a drug bill, which is one of the worst drug bills I've ever seen in my life. I voted against it. It's a bill that unfortunately is going to let out a lot of drug dealers and other people. But I personally think it was a huge mistake, and it'll come back to haunt us. It'll come back to haunt New York City, and it'll come back to haunt Buffalo.
Tony, how could you assuage the fears of people who believe what the senator clearly does believe?
Well, listen, Senator Dale Volker is a buddy of mine for years. He's been an advocate for not changing these drug laws. And the reason is because he has 6, 7, 8 prisons in his district. And, those prisons are full with people from inner city neighborhoods like the one I came from. And they keep the prisons full and they feed the community. That's why people like him don't want the Rockefeller drug laws to change, because these laws feed their community through the imprisonment of low-level, non-violent drug offenders. So for Dale Volker, look, Senator, I'm sorry. Go with the flow. Work with us now, and let's try to walk on common ground to make these laws work, where everybody, citizens, become safe. People who are incarcerated can come out early, committed crimes. Maybe they have substance abuse problems. They don't belong in prison for many, many years. so you could keep the prisons full. That's not the way it's supposed to work.
Tony, I've
That's
got just 30 seconds left, and you have spent so many years working to reform these and spent a lot of elbow grease doing it, too. What comes next for you? I know you're a prolific and well-respected artist. Is this battle done?
Well, actually, I told you last time I have a film project going, and hopefully to bring my story to the big screen. This way people across the world can know about this issue and maybe affect other states that will follow New York. New York has been the harshest drug laws for years, so now we've softened the drug laws. Maybe other states will follow. We'll save a lot of money in these trying times economically, and we'll save a lot of lives. And if people want to know my story, they go to my website, 15tolife.com, and maybe pick up my book and read my story and see how it was for me to spend 15 years to life for a nonviolent first-time offense under the Rockefeller drug laws.
And right on cue, there's the book, 15 to Life, the website, 15tolife.com. And as it may go to the big screen, Tony, we appreciate you bringing it to the small screen tonight. Thanks and congratulations
Thanks so much.
to you. Tony Papa, live in New York City tonight.
Bye-bye.
Still to come on this Friday night, the best in print are back. I'll report